Hi guys, I got some news. I just got my COVID-19 test today, and tomorrow I get my results around 8 p.m. and I have to go to the website of Bahamas and then upload that information and wait for their response, see if they approve me. They can take up to 48 hours, hopefully sooner. I got very little weather window. I got the test today. Today is day 0. Tomorrow and the day after, that'll be 2 days. So once they approve that I can go, I only got like a day or two just to make the trip. And the weather is not the best right now. And another bad news is I had to see the doctor to get this COVID-19 test. And it's going to cost me probably between $200 to $400 because I saw the doctor and I got the COVID-19 test, PCR test, and I don't know if the insurance is going to cover that. So between that and the doctor visit, which they said I had to see the doctor to get the test, which I don't understand how could that be. That's going to be between $200 to $400. Don't know yet until I get my bill. That's the downfall right now to head to the Bahamas is you got to get your COVID-19 test. It's a rush. It's like mission impossible to get your test. I don't know if I'm going to get my results by the time I get it to Bahamas. I don't know if it's going to be enough time for me to make that crossing. And let me show you, look at the weather here. As you see here on Sunday, there's some winds. It's not the perfect weather, but it's not as bad. And Monday you see some wind coming from the side, which is not a very comfortable ride either. Tuesday, the weather is not the best either. Wednesday is okay. And then Friday, we start seeing something coming down here from up north, this right here. And it starts getting real bad after that. This starts approaching here and there's some serious waves. So it's not the perfect conditions. I bet at the Bahamas with maybe a little bit worse condition than this, but this is not the best conditions. And hopefully I'll get my results by Sunday, and then Monday I'll be able to make my trip. It's 15 miles per hour winds. That's not the best winds to make it from Miami to Bimini, Bahamas. 15 miles per hour winds is not the best. And if you look here, and I'm planning to head out on Monday. If you look at the wave pattern, there's 3 feet waves right here in the middle coming sideways towards Miami. So that's going to be a little rough ride, but that is the only time I'll be able to make it there. So as you saw there, my departure date, 15 miles per hour winds and 3 foot waves is not the best. But I already spent between $200 to $400 on my test by seeing the doctor to get my COVID-19 test. So I'm not going to put my life in danger up there for money. Of course not. But I think it's doable. 15 miles per hour winds for me is doable. And 3 foot seas. I've been there a little bit worse than that. So I'm going to try to attempt to make my trip. If I'm halfway and I see that it's really rough, that I cannot make it to the Bahamas, I'll turn around, come back to the U.S. That's my second option. But I think it's doable. I don't think it's impossible. 3 foot waves is not the worst I have seen. That's the problem we're encountering now by taking the COVID-19 test. We don't have a lot of options. You got 5 days, 2 days to get your results, to get your rapid test approved by the Bahamas. Then you got 2 days for the Bahamas to approve you. What do you got left? 3 days to make that trip. So definitely that's not enough for small crafts like I have. It's not enough time. We're talking about 3 days. By the time I pack, get everything ready to go, I got 2 days left to look at weather. And usually it takes me weeks to look at weather. So like you saw there, it's not the best weather. It's not the best weather to make this trip. So hopefully tomorrow night, I'll get my results. I got great news, guys. I just got approved to visit the Bahamas. And I got my passport, so I'm all ready to go. Now, it's not that easy to just get the approval. You got some regulations to follow here. And I'm going to read them to you. It says, staying more than 5 days. It says, you will be staying in the Bahamas more than 5 days. Please be sure to schedule your 5th day test within 48 hours prior to your test day. Failure to complete a 5-day test will result in a fine or disciplinary actions. So I'm going for 5 days. So if I go over 5 days, it says here that I have to get a test prior 2 days before my 5th day, right? It's very confusing, but that's what it says. Now, it says failure to wear a mask is $250. It's okay. That's no problem. I'm going to be on water. I'm only going to be on land only one time, maybe 2 times. Depends if they want me to come back to land to check out. Now, there's another rule. Travelers that do not fill out a daily health survey will be fined $100 per each day the survey is not completed. That means I cannot be in a remote area like the Blue Hole or any place, Great Ice Sack, anywhere that is remote, because every day I have to fill out that survey. If I don't fill out that survey, they will give me a $100 fine for every day that I don't fill it out. So I have to be close to an area that I have internet, right? Honeymoon Harbor, it works fine. I get internet there most of the time. But that is a downfall because you cannot be in a remote area. And I usually am most of the time in remote places that have no internet. I have the communication with a satellite out of my Garmin InReach Mini. All right, another rule for travelers staying longer than 4 nights and 5 days, as well as citizens and residents, failure to take a rapid antigen test on the 5th day, there will be result in a $1,000 fine or 1 month imprisonment. So this is very serious. So if I don't check in daily, it's a $100 fine. And if I want to stay more than 5 days, let's say the weather got rough. If the weather got rough and I have to stay an extra day, this is going to create a problem. It's going to create a huge problem because then I need to take a test. And failure to take that test is $1,000 or prison time. So this is really serious. That means if I go for 5 days, which I'm going for 5 days, I'm registered for 5 days. If the weather gets tough on the 5th day, I have to leave the 4th day because I cannot risk leaving on the 5th day. Something happens and I'm in the Bahamas without a COVID-19 test. I don't want to be in prison. It's a prison time or $1,000. I know Bahamas is trying to protect the people, which is great, but these rules are crazy. They're crazy. $1,000 fine if I don't get my COVID-19 test. Well, I'm already into this already. If I knew all these things ahead of time, I probably wouldn't even plan to go over there because everything's expensive. The health visa was only $40 for 4 days. I think it's like $10 a day, which is not bad. But all these rules do not make you feel like you're on a vacation. So that's how I feel when I go to the Bahamas now. I feel like, man, if I don't do this, I'm going to prison. So it's not going to be a healthy vacation. Every day that I'm there now, I'm thinking about the weather. If I don't meet the deadline, then I'm going to go to prison. So if the seas gets rough, 4 to 6 feet, I'm going to have to go for it. I am not going to prison. For small boaters, this trip is a little risky because you have a deadline that you have to comply by. So if weather gets rough, I just have to make it back to Florida. There's no other choice. All right, enough about the rules, right? We're going on vacation. We're going to have a good time. I got some new gear. I got an awesome mask. My old one wasn't a great mask. So now I got me a great mask. Really feels really comfortable. Already tried it. It's great. And I also got some brand new gloves because the other ones, they've already been about 5 years old. Catching lobsters, they really catch a beating when you start catching lobsters with these gloves. They start, deteriorating because lobsters are very spiny. It's like sandpaper. So I got brand new 2 gloves. Awesome. And the weather's cold. It's not summertime, it's winter. So I'm going to the Bahamas in winter. So the water's going to be a little bit nippy. We're looking about 10 to 15 degrees colder than normal. So guess what? I'm going to fix that problem really quick. Problem fixed. Check this out. I got me a 3mm thickness on a wetsuit, right? So this is gonna keep me 10 to 15 degrees warmer at sea. So it's gonna be perfect. So I'll be able to go spearfishing for lobsters with no heat loss. So that's gonna be awesome. great suit, very economical, great quality. All right, so awesome. Feels really good. Feels warm. I have to turn the air conditioner in here because it started feeling warm right away. And it feels really, really warm. So this is gonna be awesome for those 10 to 15 degrees of different on water temperature. Not gonna feel a thing. So that's gonna be great. Plus, exposures, if jellyfish or anything rubs you, you're protected with this. Plus the gloves, and I have the fins on, so it's almost 95% of my body is gonna be covered. So I'm not gonna feel that cold water at the Bahamas. All right, check it out. It's really good, ready to go. I will place the link in the description below if you want to check it out. Very economical, great quality. I wish I could have a wetsuit like this with my logo on it, but this one is really good. All right guys, so I'll be leaving tonight really early in the morning. So in the next video, you're gonna see me in the Bahamas. Hopefully I can make the crossing with no problems. All right guys, thank you for watching, and always navigate safe.